Hi, Dave from Red Smoke Barbecue here, and thanks for stopping by and checking out the channel. Now, today's episode is going to be the first of a multi-part series, and it should be a lot of fun because we're actually competing in a virtual barbecue competition. Now, what's a virtual barbecue competition, you say? Well, it's a competition that's been held by Ironwood Smokers, and I'll throw some links to the competition below so you can keep up with the scores and how it's all progressing. But it's essentially an online competition where we submit photos of our cook-ups every fortnight, and there's a new category posted. And the first category is beef. Now, what makes this a lot of fun is that my Red Smoke stablemate Dusty, or at Dusty Devours, is also competing in this competition. So we're actually going head to head. Now, the first category was beef, and you can do any sort of beef dish. I've opted for the beef shorties. I have no idea what Dusty's doing. So we're going to stop by shortly and check out what he's cooking. So stick around, enjoy the episode.
Ooh, that's interesting. Dave's going to be doing beef ribs this week for the first round of the Ironwood virtual barbecue competition. I got something I'm going to do. It's a little bit different. Beef cheeks. So I'm going to do beef cheeks two different ways this week. I'm going to do a pastrami and I'm going to do a beef barbacoa. So the first thing with my pastrami is I've actually been brining it for 5 days, so I'm going to take that out and I'm going to give it a good wipe down. Now I've made two just in case something goes wrong in the competition cook. And I'm going to be seasoning it with this Jackalope Trading Co. rub, a pastrami rub. Really good flavours here, nice good peppery taste. So give that a good coat and then I'll put it into the smoker.
Okay, so we've got two sets of beef shorties here. One we're going to do, like I said, as the wet, and one we're going to do as a dry. Now, the first thing we need to do is flip these over, and you see on the back here, there's 3 big bones that run down the middle, and we've got this membrane that's over the back. So we need to get rid of that membrane because you can't eat it, it doesn't render down, and it'll allow us to get a little bit more smoke through the meat and a little bit extra seasoning on the back. Okay, so we removed that hard membrane from the back. Just going to turn it back over.
Okay, so for my beef cheek barbacoa, I'm actually just going to grab these fresh beef cheeks, give them a trim, a rub, and then get them into the smoker for a few hours. So I'm going to put the pan with the onions and the beef broth in and then cook the beef cheeks on top and use that as a braise later on.
Now I've put the dry one in to the right of the smoker. It is a little hotter to this side, it's close to the firebox, but it's a thicker cut. So we'll keep an eye on it and we'll probably rotate them partway through the cook.
So we've reached 165 Fahrenheit on the pastrami. We're going to wrap it, put that probe back in and wait until it gets up to about 200 Fahrenheit before we start slicing it. Now my beef barbacoa, I'm going to now braise it in a dark ale using Pep Talk by Soapbox Beer here in Fortitude Valley in Brisbane. We'll wrap it and put it back in the smoker till it's soft to probe.
All right, so we're about 4.5, maybe 5 hours in. I must admit this hasn't been the most consistent cook for temperature. We've been a little bit up and down, but that's okay. The ribs have still come along pretty nicely. So let's take a look at them and then we're gonna wrap our wet set of ribs and let our dry ribs run through. Pop them back in. We'll come back and check on them shortly.
Okay, so we're unwrapping our pastrami. It's looking pretty good, got a good little wobble on it. Let's slice it and have a look. And when we look at it, yeah, it's got a nice colour in there. It slices up thin. Ooh, it's looking good. And babies like it too. It's been a few hours. I've got 205 internal temp on that beef barbacoa. It's pretty steamy in there. Hopefully it's ready. We'll go in and pull it now. And it pulls like a boot. This is not good at all. I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's have a look inside and see what it actually looks like. Oh, yeah, it's got a pretty good smoke ring. It just hasn't softened up and rendered down. So we'll wrap it up and put it back in the smoker.
All right, so our wet ribs are ready to go, and I've taken the dry ribs, I've taken them off, they're just resting at the moment, so we'll dig into these ones first. I've pretty much decided already that the dry ribs, just from the look of them, are the ones I want to enter into the competition, so I'm going to plate these ones up and let the family enjoy these ones, and then we'll take the dry ribs and we'll plate those up ready for the competition photos.
All right, so I've been able to pull these cheeks after a few hours, and these are going to work, so let's rack up some 400-gram burgers. All right, so we got our entries in. Well, some of us only just made it, but I think everything's been posted, and let's see how we go. How do you think you'll fare, Dave?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm dying to find out. So come on, post the scores.
All right, here we are. Oh, the win! Not bad for the toasted sandwich. Look at that.
Beef toasted sandwich took out top spot, eh?
Pretty close though. Look at that. Not many points between the top three there, and
yeah, tight field, isn't it?
It is. Let's have a look at the breakdown and see where we scored and who topped where. Oh, you did well on the presentation, Dave. 4.050.
Oh, I think 4, and yeah, Matt got a 4 as well, did he? Yeah, I did look through the comments and thought his might be hard to beat.
Yeah, I probably could have done a bit better than my white plate in front of the smoker, but it was.
It was good enough on the day, wasn't it? So it looks like the difficulty is where it separates the fields a bit. And I'm surprised no one did a brisket. Actually, I don't think there was anyone doing a brisket, which might have been up there on the difficulty points. But there was quite a few beef shorties in hindsight.
I think there was brisket pies. So we see Matt Holmes did really well on the presentation. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he's done the beef shorties, beef burnt ends by the looks there.
Very magazine quality. That's a good presentation. You can see why he came up on top. If he keeps that up, it's going to be we're going to have to lift our game, particularly me with my plate in front of the smoker.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing the photo. I thought that was a cracking photo. That was going to be hard to beat.
Nice. And coming in third, I think it was Dennis Marr. Look at the size of those.
Oh, not just the ribs, though. What's that on the left?
That's the set salad, isn't it? What's there? Corn, carrot, some onion on top. I like the mac and cheese on the right in that bacon boat.
Yeah, no, he's nice. Done well. His sides are almost the dish in this one because I couldn't stop looking at that upside down, cup. It had caught my eye straight away.
Yeah. To see why you got the difficulty side, there's a fair bit there on that. Probably didn't take him 5 days to cure though.
Probably not.
So that's been a good little look at some of the competition. It's good competition, having a lot of fun. What about next week, Dave?
So next week category is pork. So it's an interesting one because on the category after that, I think it's pork ribs. So I don't know that you want to be doing that two weeks in a row. So don't know what I'm going to be doing with pork, but I'm certainly not going to be telling you because I'm chasing you.
Yeah, that'd be right. That'd be right. Thanks, mate. All right, and if you like the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and look out for our next episode coming up. And you can also check us out on Instagram at Red Smoke Barbecue. So until next time.